Hi everybody, it's Karen again. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you've had a lovely week. This is the third try at doing this vlog. I'm not having a good night tonight. First time there was a bit of a blooper. I swore, but you'll see why when I start talking about zips later on. The second one, I was looking at my phone instead of looking at the camera. I will try and remember to do that. I know somebody said it's like I'm sitting at a sewing chat and you talk to the person next to me, not to me. So I'm duly noted. I'm going to try and look at the camera instead of looking at my phone. I have managed to finish the blouse I showed everybody in last week's Friday sews, which, if you remember, just looked like a huge bra. And it was this one, McCalls 7803, and that looked lovely, yeah. And what I showed you on the hanger was a complete and utter disaster last week. Yeah, just like a huge bra. That's the only thing I could think of that it looked like. And it didn't look anything like it was supposed to. And a few people on my comments recommended I watch a lady called Marie from, her channel's called My Bucolic Life. And she's amazing. She has this calming voice that just, because everything goes okay for her as well, you just think, yeah, that's easy, that's simples. Yeah, I'm gonna go and do that. I'm gonna go and sew that blouse now. And yeah, she's fabulous. She's really, yeah, just great. She's sewed all her life, and while she's explaining how to do something, she doesn't realise that she's sending you these light bulb moments where she's just showing you something she's done all her life and this is the way she does it. And you think, oh my God, that's just, why do people not know about this? So the thing with, we'll start with the zips first. I did have a day on Monday with wild interfacing where, you cut a piece of interfacing, you cut a piece of facing fabric, and then the two pieces, even though you've used the same pattern piece, the two pieces do not match. One goes up one way, the other one doesn't, or one's this big and the other one's this big. Drives me nuts. But anyway, that was easy compared with Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I spent a good 4 or 5 hours each day putting a zip in, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out. I was ready to commit murder. This is hence why I did a second and third video, because I swore in the first video when I was talking about the zips. I did a practice piece. I ordered those cheap zips from Amazon, and sorry, look at the camera. I ordered those cheap zips from Amazon, so I blamed the zip. I said, oh, it's the zip, they're faulty, they're not good. So I did this practice, and look, my sewing's fine. It's right next to the teeth, it's straight, it's all the same length, all the stitches are the same length. That was my practice, worked fine. Then I went on to to do the same with my actual blouse that I was sewing. And I put it in, I took it out, I put it in, I took it out. The stitches were all different lengths. It was like this. It was going into the teeth. So when I was trying to pull the zip up, when I thought I had the zip actually in, it was getting so far and it was jamming because it was hooked. The actual stitching was like across the teeth. And I was just like, I didn't see it do that. I could hear my machine starting to clunk a little bit. And it obviously didn't like sewing on plastic. But yeah, that was, I was past myself Tuesday and Wednesday. I thought, I'm not going to get this ready for everybody on Friday. I'm going to have nothing to show them. But I do. And yeah, a few of the people on my comments recommended Marie. And she said something, she puts the zip in, she makes this top and she puts the zip in, and she said, iron your zip flat. So, which I knew about, which I'd done. So you've got your teeth, and then they need to be rolled out and it needs to be ironed flat. And I've done that, but you see how they roll back again? If you iron them flat, they sort of stay flat, and therefore when they're flatter, they can go under the foot, under the presser foot. But she did sort of just an off the cuff mention. She just sort of said, don't pull your zip up again though, because if you pull your zip up again, all the teeth will fold back. And that's what I'd been doing. I'd been pinning the zip in, thinking, have I got it in the right place or is it sort of slightly off? And I'd been pulling the zip up to see if it was level and to see that both bits of material were level, and then starting to sew it, of course, when I realised I did have it level. So that was just a game changer. So I finally got the zip in. Anyway, here is said blouse. So there is one's invisible zip, which I am really, really pleased with. And this is the front. Don't look at this sleeve. I'm clearly no good at ironing either. Look at the state of that. I mean, I pressed the peplum on the bottom, but I obviously missed that sleeve and the other sleeve. But there, and it's quite nice, and it looks really nice on. And one of the things that Marie mentioned, which I hurriedly tried mine on when she mentioned it, was she said it is actually quite fitted. It looks quite drapey and quite loose, but it is fitted. And it is, boy, this peplum, by gum, it sits exactly on your waist. We both did the size 16, and I'm probably on the larger size of the 16, to be fair. Oh, and I still need a couple of hooks and eyes. One there because that's quite low, even though I brought that up a good 2 inches from where it was supposed to come down to. I mean, you just would be flashing your chest. It would be indecent. And it still needs, don't look at the state of that. I'll put my hand there. It still needs a hook and eye on the top as well. And then, of course, one of my bloopers. Yay! So I cut the interfacing piece out again because the first interfacing I used was far too stiff for that sort of material. So when I put the blouse on, it was sort of out here with the interfacing. So I had to cut it out again, hurriedly cut it out again on the material that I did have left. Didn't check my material underneath, and there was a bit of the white strip saying what material it was and where it was from. So when I saw that and I just thought, oh, do you know, I can't be bothered. I'm not cutting it out again. I'm not stitching it in again because it was a swine to stitch in. So yeah, it was an adventure. But Marie did agree with a lot of the things that I was thinking. Like there's a lot of markings, notches, dots, folds, all these things that were on that front pattern piece. Everything else was pretty straightforward. It had centre fold and centre markings and stuff. But that front bit with the tie, oh, it had fold lines and cut to dot, or trim to dot or something, which I've never seen before, never come across ever. There were so many different things on it, and she said that as well. And I thought, hey, we're on the same wavelength. I'm starting to think like a sewer now. I'll just quickly have a sip of tea. This is my mug that my husband knows not to come anywhere near me when I've got that mug. And that's Barry's tea that I got in my Think Pink subscription box as well. And it's jolly nice tea. I'm a Yorkshire tea drinker normally, but that's really a close second. That's very, very nice. So yes, so thank you to Marie from My Bucolic Life for saving my life and saving my sewing machine because it was going to go through the window. And yeah, it wasn't the presser foot. It was entirely down to me. It was because I was pulling the daft thing up and then all the teeth were folding in and folding back in again. I thought I was going to wear the blouse tonight, but with it being a 22-inch zip, my arms don't go there now. They used to when I was younger, but I can't pull a 22-inch zip up. I can get it so far up the back, but then I'm sort of stuck, and that would have ruined the effect of it, and it certainly wouldn't have looked very good on. And because my husband's out, I'm in by myself, that's why I don't have it on. And I have subscribed to, this is along the same lines, I promise you, it's not something else. I've subscribed to Simply Sewing magazine, and this is the first one that I've been sent. So this is my first magazine that I've paid for on subscription, because if you subscribed for, I think you got 13 copies of the magazine, so you subscribe for the year, but you get 13 lots of magazine for $109.99. Now these magazines I think are $10.99 each, so that was great in itself, but you got a mannequin, and not like a mannequin like I had. I used to have two polystyrene type body foam ones that you couldn't alter, and one was the size I wanted to be and the other size was more the size I am. And they've been my thing for displaying things for quite some time now, but when I subscribed to that, I thought, oh, I'll get rid of them, and I sold them to a lady just around the corner actually. But I wish I'd held on to them for a bit longer, because I can't wait for this one to come. I think it's going to come Monday. Otherwise, the blouse would be on the mannequin. And if my husband was in, the blouse would be on me. So I do apologise for that. I know people like to see more, you know, fabric and stuff made and things like that. By way of a bit of an apology, I thought what I would do is show you some useful tools that I've got. And a lot of ladies who've been sort of commenting on my videos, look at the camera, have said that, you know, they've been inspired to start sewing again, and they haven't sewed for years and years and years, and so or they're just beginning to sew and they're in their 70s, which I think is amazing. So I thought what I would do, sorry, my battery's just about to run out. I thought what I would do is show you a couple of things which may not have been around 50 years ago when people were learning to sew, but are now. And I couldn't do without them, to be honest. Heat erasable. No, it's not. It's a heat resistant seam ruler. This is fab. You literally just put your material around it. This is going to look awful, but never mind. Put it to where you want the seam to be, so like there, and then press it with an iron. And you can press over the plastic ruler, it doesn't take the markings off, and it doesn't melt it, which is great. And it is absolutely, if you're doing like a straight edge, it's fantastic. If you're just doing like a 1/4 inch seam, you have to be a little bit careful of getting your fingers burnt. But it's really a game changer, it really is. Another thing I have is a fang, not a thong, a fang. This is, they're usually purple and they're called a purple fang. And I came across these when I was watching Lucy from So Essential. She does a big vlog on them, and she has about 7 or 8 different uses for them. But the thing I use them for is this little flat end here. Is pushing sort of when you've got a little seam and a little bit of material just sticking up that you want to get under your presser foot. Well, you use that instead of your finger. Saves injury, saves a visit to hospital, which is really good. And then there's a little end like that on the end, which is good for sort of easing out threads. And if you turn something, it's like a point turner, although that is pretty damn sharp on the end, so I wouldn't use it too viciously. And then there's a little hole here, which I'm sure there is another use for, but a lot of people just put a bit of ribbon through there and hang it around their necks when they're sewing, so they've always got it to hand, which is probably a good idea, because to be fair, I'll go for me, where's my thang, and it's always in a different place, it's always somewhere else. One of the things that Marie did was, when she was putting a dart in, Marie from My Bucolic Life I'm talking about again, she, if you're putting a dart in, where you've got the little dot where you would start the dart from and come out, she punches a hole in her actual pattern, and she uses like a leather punch. But but I suppose you could use like a single paper punch or something. And then she just uses a heat erasable pen through that hole. I've been sticking pins through like the pattern, the 2 bits of material, marking each side of 2 bits of material. I just put a hole through, and then you're straight onto 1 bit of material, and it sometimes goes through to the next bit of material as well. So, but I think she was laying it all out on a single lay sort of pattern. So that was another useful tip that that she came up with. But the thing about the teeth on the zip, I mean, if I'd just found that out an hour after I'd started on Tuesday, would have saved a lot of bad language. It was a revelation. I highly recommend her channel. The other lady I've got to thank today is Andie from So Andie Sews. Now, I've been watching Andie for, well, since she started. She started about 4 or 5 months ago, I think. But she's amazing. She, seamstress. She makes all sorts, and everything is beautiful that she makes. I think she's been sewing for a lot longer than obviously she's been vlogging for. I think probably 8 years, I think she said once, but that I could have made that up. And she mentioned me on one of her vlogs, and some of the people who made comments said Andie from Andie Sews has mentioned mentioned you in her vlog, and so this is why I'm here, and I'm so pleased she did, blah blah blah. And I just want to thank her again. I have sent her a little message to say thank you as well, but thank you, Andie. That was really kind of you. There was no need to do it, but it means the world to me. And like I say, I'm totally starstruck that somebody I watch on YouTube actually watches my little videos as well. It's just really nice. I'm really enjoying the vlogging process. I'm really enjoying doing it, and I'm definitely enjoying all the lovely comments I get. It's very good for the self-esteem. Very good for the self-esteem. Anyway, that's about it for today. I hope if you like this video and you want to see some more, can you give me a thumbs up, and can you subscribe if you haven't already? That would be really, really appreciated. I'd love to get to 2,000 subscribers by this weekend, or next weekend maybe. Let's not push our luck. And I hope you have a lovely weekend, a lovely week, and lots of lovely sewing. Oh, and enjoy Mother's Day, mothers out there. See you again. Bye.